What do you tell us about the in terms of like the U.S. regulatory environment? Kind of where do we stand today?
Biggest problem in the US is the fractured nature of our regulatory environment, right? We have multiple regulators with different mandates who are all trying to figure out, what is their role, what's their turf, and there are obviously turf battles between the SEC and the CFTC, and it's very, very difficult to understand in many cases what is the regulatory environment. A lot of frustration in this space with the SEC because to date, their regulatory stance is that all crypto except Bitcoin and now maybe Ethereum are considered securities. So come on in and register. Well, it's not quite that simple because the securities laws that we have today around registration were not built for this, new type of asset class. So, for example, if you have a DAO crypto or token, whatever you want to call it, you're going to register that. But how do you do that when you start to look at the things that you have to supply to the SEC around background checks on management? Well, in theory, a DAO has no management. So help us understand. But the SEC has not been forthcoming, in in my opinion, in working with the industry to try to solve some of these problems. Instead, it's enforcement. And the problem with enforcement is it not only takes time and money, but you can get different opinions from different courts, and courts have a tendency to overturn one another. So where do you go? There's a if you if you want to look at kind of a tongue-in-cheek situation, or not situation, but view of this, there is a on the SEC website, something was penned a while ago around the shapeshift decision, and it's as the crypto world turns, and it's sort of this fake back and forth between an issuer and an SEC official who, this person is saying, well, we have questions. We'll go talk to your attorney. Well, my attorney has questions too. Well, just register. Like, how do you do that? So we have these large enforcement actions, and now we're starting to see folks like Coinbase proactively sue the SEC for the information that they think they want. If they're saying, we want to comply, you have to tell us how, and we're not getting the how. And of course, the whole thing is now kind of up in the air with the election, and we'll see what the nature of the SEC and the CFTC look like going forward.